Alright, so what is next? Well, today I'm going to be showing you guys the SCRs and price fluctuation. Just kind of look out for if you guys want to pick up any of the secret rares that have been released previously, and then looking at for any other cards that are going to be most likely fluctuating in price. Cards you've been wanting to pick up for a while, but too expensive, and then cards that you most likely should keep onto because the trade value is going to increase sooner or later. So the first thing we're going to be looking at is that Clash of Fates Frieza's Army Reborn card. When it first came out, I think it was around $70, and it easily dropped down to $30 because people realized the pull rates were really high. But then people started actually playing it a lot more, and they realized, hey, I don't really want to spend $60 for a box for even a 1 out of 3 chance, 1 out of 4 chance to pull this SCR, even though it's probably one of the easiest SBRs other than that Son Goku and Oop combo to pull. It's a lot more useful than that Son Goku and Oob, so people kind of want to hold on to that. They don't want to spend $60 for the box, so they rather spend $30 for that card. And once people start realizing that, then they obviously the price raises up to about a box, $64.94. Now you would think you'd rather just buy that box for that chance of that SCR, but I've seen a lot of people buy like 2 or 3 boxes separately and not still pull that one card, but they'll pull a lot of the good cards like the Final Showdown Frieza, which is about $30 right now, or even the SR Frieza, which is about $15, $16. And then the strive, you always get the 4 feature rare cards, like the striving to be the best Goku, which right now I believe is around $13, and then striving to be the best Vegeta, which is around like $8 to $10 as well. So you still get a lot more money value for getting a box. But if you also top up and get that Frieza Armor Reborn, then the box is completely worth it. But it depends on what you want to do, and then how the price truly fluctuate is how useful the card is. And Frieza Armor Reborn can be used in practically any deck because there's no restriction, but specifically red decks or even Shinron decks if you want to world piece it out if you don't have any red energy on the field. Okay, so moving on to the next SCR card we're going to be looking at here is a Miraculous Fighter SS3 Gogeta. It came out the Miraculous Revival box. So basically, this is part of that Gogeta chain that we have already seen previously in tournaments, but most of the chain kind of focuses around Shinron. While this one, it doesn't have a restriction on leader or anything like that. You can play in any deck. You can X evolve it on the Gogeta 7-drop Gogeta. You can Union Fusion for it for I believe 6 energy with 3 blue. It also has deflect, so it's coming out no matter what. It also has critical. It's a single attacker, single striker, but with its active main, it does take Sparking 15, so you need 15 cards in your drop. Then you choose one Son Goku and one Vegeta, and then you can switch this and put it at the bottom of your deck, and you switch this card back to active mode, so you can get multiple attacks. I mean, it's practically limitless at that point, and since because you can just keep combo. If you're like drawing at the same time, you can kind of keep comboing out, and you don't have to give it like, see, if you played in Shinron or whatnot, you don't have to give it a triple striker at that point. That would just be boosting its energy. But it's a 40k attacker, so it can be played in any deck that utilize Gogeta. But it was at first $70 when it first came out. Now it's dropping to $57.75 because people aren't utilizing the Gogeta cards that often because they don't put so many Son Goku and Vegeta cards in their deck. They pretty much just either hard cast it or use their bigger boss monsters to get them out when they need to. So moving on to the next card, we're going to talk about that Son Goku and Oop that we just discussed. This is one of the cheapest. It is the cheapest SCR out there. The pull rate was very high, but the reason why it's so cheap is because it has a restriction to only World Tournament leaders. So you won't be able to get its cheaper effect. You have to hard cast this for 8 or world piece it out, unfortunately, because the permanent says if the leader card is a World Tournament card and if there are 6 or more in both energy in both excuse me, if there are 6 cards or more in both your energy area and your opponent's energy area, decrease this card in energy, this card's energy cost in your hand by 2, which essentially makes it a 6 drop. However, that's already like a tough requirement for you and your opponent to be at 6. That's already like stretching out the game, so you can't objection to ramp this up and get it out unless you're hard casting it for 8. But its auto is pretty gross since it is a double striker dual attack. When it's card attack, choose one card from each from your opponent's life and energy area, and then place them at the bottom of their owner's decks in any order. I mean, that right there is already beastly, but that restriction makes it pretty much unplayable. Like, if you see someone running a world tournament leader, expect this card to be in it unless it's like a green green tournament leader and they're playing mostly green cards or something like that, because or yellow, because like to not be able to use this is what that deck is for. That's why Frieza's Army Reborn is so different. Even though it's coming out a theme box set, it can be used in any deck other than that theme. So that's why it's valued a lot higher right now. But $10 for a secret rare. If you're a collector, I'll say pick it up now. Say to go a little less, a little lower than this. It might, but in turn, like they're not gonna be releasing any more of these cards like this. Like they understand the restriction is too high. But yeah, $10 or $9 right now for free shipping. That's not too bad to pick this up. Then one card that kind of been fluctuating for a while, but I think it's gonna stay at its price is Beyond Darkness Debigra. It's too useful in almost every deck that has any Shinran cards in it, any Dragon Balls in it. If you even have, I've seen people run it with even just seven black cards in their deck, and they're just waiting for that last black card to get into their drop area that they played Beyond Darkness Demigra, basically capitalizing for game. It's probably one of the most threatening SCRs out there just because it can play in any deck, and since it can only be, or it can be played with 5 energy, any energy, because it's a dark overrealm, and it can stays on the field every time it's attacked. It's threatening that 40k triple strike, or it's coming at your hand just looking at it. Even if you're negated, it's gonna take a peek at your hand. If you have negates and all extra cards, that's nice, but at least your opponent gets to know what's in there. So Beyond Darkness Demigra is definitely a hot card. It was once at 30, now it's back to 69.49. I think it's gonna hold that price for a while, unfortunately. So if you have one, stick with it and then kind of trade it if you want. But yeah, $70 is definitely worth the price right there. Uh, the the same card that also came out, Colossal Warfare. Unfortunately, it's a descendant Son Goku Jr. So this is the first box that actually had 2 SCRs. They were once at the same price, around 30, 40. But unfortunately, this one is not as useful because you need, if basically focus on the Goku lineage, and then it's just an 8 drop with 4 yellow energy. So you can't bring it out any other way, like I said, other than World Peace or things like that. But its auto doesn't really apply to most decks unless you're playing Goku lineage. So a lot of people don't want to play this one. So right now it's at $24 to pick it up. If you're a collector, I'd say pick it up now. I don't really see it going any further, but they did just release a Goku Lineage promo card that brought the deck back. But most people are going for the SCR. Since you're going to have one Ultimate in your deck, they're going for the SCR Victory Strike more than the Distant Descendant Son Goku Jr. Speaking about the SCR Victory Strike, we have Son Goku, the Awakened Power. Like I said, most people prefer it as just to call it Victory Strike because it has one of the most unique and iconic uh, keyword skill, which is that Victory Strike. If you basically when you deal life damage by attacking with this card, you win the entire game. So it's over right there at that point. That skill right there is more threatening. Obviously, you can still, it doesn't have barrier or deflect or anything like that. You can still crush your ball it. You can still, you can't negate it, but you can still crush your ball it, which is good. But you can't go cold bloodlusted or anything like that because of its permanent. Since this skill and this attack can't be negated, you can still Mafupa it. You can still get it completely around this card. However, it's like since it's already so threatening when it came out, it comes out so with ease. Like X Evolve, place 1 Universe 7 from your hand to the dropper over a Son Goku with the energy cost of 6 or more. Like that can be played so easily. People can bring this out turn 4, I believe. I've seen that this earliest stage with the new promo Goku lineage card. But right now it's at $375. It was at a good base price of $100. A little fluctuating between $100 $200, which is the hardest SCR to pull because it's coming out at money box, that tournament power box. So right now $375. If you have this card, this is lightly played. I would definitely try trading or selling it. If it's in mint condition, you just pulled it. Try to get it graded because I've seen it sell for a couple $1,000 or at least $1,000. Okay, moving on to the SCR, straight from the crosswords. We have Hyper Evolution Super Saiyan 4 Son Goku. I don't see too many people playing this unless they're playing that Goku GT kind of like evolve over plays. I mean, I've seen people play with the Brawly, with the red and everything. That way they should guess it out. Should guess that 3 drop to turn into a 5 drop out, and they kind of just evolve over it with the Triple Flash Son Goku, which is nice. But a lot of people don't play this card, unfortunately. But it's still one of the harder cards to pull, so it's still gonna be $62.99. I've seen it fluctuate a little bit lower, but it's one of the first SCRs to come out the game, so it's staying at a good price of 62.99. But I think it's gonna definitely decrease a little bit in the future when Brawly stops becoming hype. Going into our next SCR, we have Ultimate Force SSB Vegito. Unfortunately, doesn't get played as much, so it's going to be at $24. It's a pretty good card in Vegito deck. So Vegito deck is kind of limited in power, but when you start bringing out those Vegito cards, it's going to really start. It really starts putting pressure on your opponent. And going forward with a set 6 and everything, since we have those cards announced and it's going to have a lot of Vegito support, you can definitely bring this card out a lot easier. Simply because you can charge it and you can bring it out by like ramping up your energy and everything with those other Vegito cards. Get to 10 energy going forward in new sets. It's going to be actually not pretty easily, but it's going to be like a standard gameplay. When you see someone at 10 energy, you're going to be like, that's it must be game. Clearly, how come it's not game yet? But a lot of cards are now these days are actually ramping up like that. So then we're going to our SPR, Brawly the Rampage and Horror, which is now $25. So this is from the first set, Galactic Battle. So if you do have this card, like you're definitely banking on keeping this one, because SPRs back then weren't worth that much at all, unfortunately. But right now it's actually worth a lot. So if you have this card, it's definitely good trade value, but it's actually really good going forward with Brawly decks, because you have a lot of options with the new Brawly cards and everything like that. When Set 6 comes out, Brawly's definitely going to be loved. It's a lot hyped up. It's really easy to get them out at this point. Like you got 4 green energy, 1 any energy. You can just kind of keep evolving over your Brawly cards at that point. But they do have a lot better Brawly cards, and I think you can actually bring this out with ease because of the other Brawly support cards that let you evolve over like 5. It's like a 7-drop, I believe. It lets you evolve over any Brawly for like 5 or 6 energy. The same as like this, but this is just more hand control for Brawly. So Brawly is getting to that point where it's getting broken or busted, but you can definitely beat it. It's not like it's an unbeatable deck. It's just very annoying and it's getting very strong. But other than that, those are the cards that I just want to take a look at. There's other cards like baby cards are becoming hot fire. The promo cards that just released are about 20, $34 that just came out. That's fluctuating because they're key cards. Like how the game goes, the more the card is played, the more value it's going to get. They have new Sensu Beans that are going to be coming out, and the new Mafuba and Kobolas that we want to be taking a look at when they release. But going forward, I'm going to try and bring you new updates of like rare cards, or most played cards, or even foil uncommon cards that are just seeing spike increases. I know that 1-drop Star Ball has been increased about $18 right now, so that's definitely a good come up if you have one of those. You can only get them out of a dash pack, I believe, from buying Rock Survival through your local stores or things like that. We still want to keep supporting our local stores, definitely. That way we can keep getting these promo events, these promo cards from the sealed events and things like that. Hopefully going forward we can start seeing a lot more interaction in the game. But right now we're just going to be looking at the aftermarket, the secondhand market. That way we can keep increasing it. That way we can still keep our trade values. That way we don't just spend our money buying these boxes and then not getting a return from it. So right now we're starting to see a small return from it, which is definitely good. So it's going to increase the trade community, because we don't have to actually buy these cards. It'd be nice if we buy these cards, but later on in the game we're going to get a lot of cards that are only if you can only get them if you win tournaments. That way more people can start coming out to tournaments to start playing, getting these exclusive deck boxes, getting these exclusive cards, hopefully start getting exclusive like swag, like I don't know, even like lanyards or keychains, whatever, or mats would be nice too. That way we can start going forward, having these bigger tournaments, not just like in the East Coast or even down south and things like that, but like more in the West Coast, Northwest specifically, since that's where we're at, Pacific Northwest over here. But going forward, I'm definitely gonna be giving you guys more of these price lookouts and checks and things like that for cards in your collection that's just been burning there in your binder that you didn't really care about. Well, now you can have a reason to care about because the game is changing, and hopefully it's going to go a direction that we all can appreciate. All right, thanks you guys. If you guys liked the video, please do like, comment, and subscribe to it. I definitely like to hear you guys' opinions on these cards. If I missed anything, please let me know next time.